Adam even black? Welcome back. It's Nicholas Alexander Burke, and let's talk Black Adam. Did the hierarchy of the DC universe actually change? Maybe. First half of this movie felt like Daredevil. I'm not talking about the Netflix show, but Ben Affleck's 2003 Daredevil movie. Felt like this was written and shot in the past, because it probably was. But this movie moves at such a breakneck pace, and I really enjoy it. There's so much exposition, but like I said, since it's moving so fast, you're kind of like, okay, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and get the bad stuff out the way, because I actually ended up liking this movie. Unfortunately, the worst part of the movie is hands down the kid. He was annoying, it was aggravating, wasn't the best actor, and every time he was on screen, I was just like, let's move to the next thing. And he is such a focal point at the beginning of this movie for reasons that are not really related to the plot. I think that you could have cut him out, still had the same type of movie, and maybe even cut his mom out, and you will still have a movie that could work. I ended up enjoying the movie the more it played out, because he was in it less the more it played out. Tons of slow-mo, and it honestly didn't bother me until we get like this scene in like this like Supermax prison, and the slow-mo in that scene was so unnecessary. I just started rolling my eyes. Also, there's a third act villain, and you just are like, oh my God. And this movie does suffer from a lot of comic book movie tropes, including a beam that shoots straight into the sky. I thought that we grew out of that, but it's in it, so I digress. Now let's get to the good stuff. First, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the first male superhero whose physique matches the comic book character he is portraying. You may be like, hey, what about Hugh Jackman? Hugh Jackman, very ripped. However, Wolverine in the comics is not only ripped, but he's short and stocky. And you may be like, what about Henry Cavill as Superman? Henry Cavill is also ripped. However, his Superman suit does have very minimal padding. It's minimal, but it's still in the suit, so I have to give it to The Rock. His suit straight up has no padding at all. You're getting his true physique in this that is stretching through that fabric. So, you know, hats off to that dedication and that discipline. But yeah, like even as a toy, The Rock looks menacing. This is the first time I felt that we had an actual anti-hero. Black Adam is straight up murdering people viciously. And in fact, a previous cut of this movie was rated R because of the violence, and you can still see that in this movie. And I guess it makes sense why we got a Black Adam solo movie before introducing him in the Shazam movie. Although both characters get their powers from the same source, they have the exact same power set, and they're connected. I just don't see how you can put Black Adam in a family-friendly Shazam movie while he is killing people the way that he kills people in this. But I do hope to see an interaction between those characters, especially since they're pretty much, you know, the yin to each other's yang. Dwayne Johnson's acting was okay. The character of Black Adam doesn't really require much range in this movie. Easily the best part about Black Adam, the character, is the flying and the hovering scenes. It looks scary, it looks menacing, it looks ominous. The way he cuts through a crowd, we haven't seen characters move like this since Man of Steel. But he also does this thing where he just like kind of hovers kind of slowly towards you before killing you, and it's very effective. Feels unnatural. The Justice Society, very underdeveloped. But Hawkman and Dr. Fate do stand out. I also have figures of them as well. However, Cyclone and Atom Smasher really don't have a standout moment in this movie. In fact, if the JSA was just Dr. Fate and Hawkman, I think that this would still pretty much be the same movie. Atom Smasher, the first thing that you will compare him to if you just watch a trailer is Ant-Man. But he's a lot like Deadpool, especially when you look at his face. And actually, my friend Sasha sums it up really well on her channel, so Shazam!
I would argue this movie intelligently picked heroes, with the exception of, what's her name, Cyclone? All the other side heroes had Marvel counterparts who have become very popular, who have had their own projects in the last couple years, with Hawkman being very much like Falcon, Dr. Fate having similar powers to Doctor Strange, and then Atom Smasher functioning in a very similar way as Ant-Man and looking pretty much exactly like Deadpool. But I think it worked.
So yeah, the special effects on all the members of the JSA are done pretty well. Dr. Fate and Hawkman pretty much split my MVP in two because they're both very integral and they both have very good moments in the movie. In fact, they are the reason why this movie went from an okay movie to a good movie. Out of all the different interpretations of Dr. Fate that we've gotten in comics and video games and TV, this suit design is hands down my favorite. Like I said, this movie moves really quick. The first half or even the first 2/3 of this honestly feels like its own movie, and when the second act ends, it feels like the ending of a movie. So it makes the third act feel like a mini movie tacked on. However, I did say I enjoyed the movie as it progressed, so I did end up liking the third act. This is a true popcorn eating, tons of action, fast-paced movie, and to accomplish that, you kind of have to relax your critical thinking and judge the movie for what it is. I feel like if you nitpick this, you can find a lot of different things wrong with it. But I don't think that Black Adam, the movie, is trying to be like the sophisticated piece of media. I think it knows what it is. Black Adam, the character in this movie, is easily top 2 most powerful beings in the DCEU currently that we have, and it makes sense why you wouldn't get a team like Suicide Squad to go against him, because he would literally just slaughter them all, and you don't really have the budget to probably bring in the actors for a Justice League type of team for this. So using the JSA made a lot of sense. And again, this is a spoiler-free review. I want to talk about the post-credit scene, but I'm not going into detail at all. In fact, I'm more so talking about the promotion of this post-credit scene. Again, no details, no spoilers. But The Rock basically went on a press tour promoting that this film has a credit scene that contains, I won't say what it is, right? And it just started to make me worry for the movie, because I'm coming to see the movie for the movie. The credit scene is supposed to enhance my experience, but it shouldn't make or break it. And in his promotion, he did kind of reveal what may be featured in it, and I won't say it here. So as a person who had an idea of what the post-credit scene was going to contain in this movie, as I watched it, I was still excited, and it still brought me joy. It was still cool to see. So I can only imagine the people who have no idea at all what the post-credit scene contains are going to love this even more than I did, and that's really exciting. Overall, Black Adam is an action-packed movie that takes influences from many different comic book movies before it, and it's accompanied with bad acting, but some really good standout moments from his characters. And what you get is a pretty decent, good film. Not great, but not bad, but still a good movie. Easily in the top 5 or 6 of the DCEU films, along with Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. So yeah, movies like that, in no particular order. Really proud of Dwayne for finally getting this movie that I believe this movie was announced almost 10 years, if not more than that, ago. So kudos to him for getting this off the ground and getting it made. It's a W for DC, definitely. I give it 7.4 Knicks. Real quick, I know I've been gone from my channel for a minute. I'm actually getting married in December, so I've been really busy. And in the meantime, I'm going to make some shorter reviews with less editing, so I can catch up on the things that I have been watching and talk about the things that you guys have, already watched. And and then after December, we can get back to my regular standard format of reviewing stuff, in which I just talk about a lot of details that you probably didn't care to notice. Thank you for bearing with me. So Black Adam, did you see it? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for me, please. And as always, thanks for watching. And if he was black and his name is still Black Adam, then that's even worse.